Those living in some of the most picturesque parts of Colorado are now struggling through a housing crisis. A new housing report spells bad news for those in Summit County. Denver 7's Mark Boyle explains how locals may be forced to leave their cozy mountain town if something doesn't change.
While tourists from all over Colorado and the country come to Summit County for the fall colors and recent snowfall, those who call this home are looking for higher wages. They say if they don't get them, they may be driven out. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more scenic spot near the metro area. Just ask Sarah Vane and her husband Mark, who've lived in Dillon for over 20 years.
Families come here, they're working 2-3 jobs to try to support their families, so they don't even have time for recreation.
But what you don't see tucked away in these Colorado mountains is a housing crisis not seen in decades. And those who work with low-income families say working families are being hit the hardest.
On the rental side, there's about 220% increase, but I really doubt workers in the community got a wage increase of that amount.
These newly released housing numbers show housing costs skyrocketing, anywhere from 20 to 40%. These employee-only condos up 40% in 2 years alone.
You're basically paying about 80% of your income if you're a single individual. And not to mention that if you have kids.
The higher housing costs, paired with health care and child care, many families are simply doing without.
So that then puts pressure on all the human services, you know, the food banks and the social services and all those nonprofits that support people who don't make a sustainable wage, and it's just got kind of a ripple effect.
And families like the Vanes say they've noticed many of their friends and neighbors left with little choice but to take big chances like scrapping health care when the alternative is moving away.
And I think people look at the wealth and the beautiful houses and the ski resorts and they don't realize what it takes to keep those going, and it's the families here.
So the catch-22 in this situation, the locals don't want to drive out the second homeowners who come here to visit, even though those homes could be used for more affordable housing for those who do call this home. Reporting in Summit County, Mark Boyle, Denver 7.